Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about issue number 14 of the Avengers, which is a tie-in to the Blood Hunt event, written by Jed MacKay. But before we dive into the story, I want to ask you a favor. If you enjoy this video, please leave a like and a comment to help the channel grow. So with that said, up to this point vampires have descended upon Earth, so with the planet shrouded in perpetual night, vampires are more powerful than ever. So it is now up to the Avengers to stop them. But with hordes upon hordes of vampires attacking only 7 Avengers, it was obvious in Blood Hunt issue 1, the 7 wouldn't be enough to hold them at bay, so Captain Marvel had to put the call out for the cavalry. Now this issue opens with Captain America sending out a priority alert, because Captain Marvel has tasked him with putting out the call for more Avengers to help in the fight against the vampires. So if anyone is receiving that message, then it means they need to step up. And to ensure they could find him, all they have to do is follow the tracking chip in their identicard. So with that said, first we see Captain America battling his way through the hordes of vampires. So with amazing agility and superhuman strength, Steve was doing all he could as a soldier, and as a soldier he knows better than most what war is. And this was indeed a war, and he needed an army. And the first to answer his call was Hercules. And that was a perfect choice, for he had lived for a very, very long time and seen the light of the world flicker time and time again. And every time that happened, Hercules has been there to extinguish whoever threatened it. So if this crisis is the one that would finally snuff him out, then he will meet the final darkness as an Avenger. So as a vampire sneaked up behind him, an arrow flew clean through it, taking it out with zero problem. Because they say that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, but they are wrong because Kate prefers shooting in an arc. And Kate proves that point by continuing to shoot several vampires in said arc. So as the vampire bodies all start to turn into dust, we jump over to Quicksilver doing his thing. And one thing you have to understand about Quicksilver is his father was a bastard, and he takes after his father. So with our hero being a pain with ungodly speed at his disposal, Quicksilver is not the one to mess with, especially because these vampires are responsible for hurting the only person left that he cares about, his sister, the Scarlet Witch. So now it is his personal mission to kill as many vampires as he can. Or at least until he is able to reach those who took his sister. So as Quicksilver took out every vampire around him, we jump over to Hazmat. And when we see her, she is tossing hazardous radiation at the vampires under the eternal night. And as you may have guessed, they stood no chance against her. So with the team assembled, each member checked in as the vampires around them were reduced to ash. Now with that battle dealt with, Quicksilver made sure to have words with Captain America. Because he answered his Avengers priority alert even though he has some family members in peril, referring to his sister, Wanda. So with tension rising, Steve did what he does best and calmed the situation by telling him the Avengers have been hit hard, but now they're trying to regroup to hit back and hopefully end this whole thing. And by doing that, they would be able to save Thor, the Black Panther, and even the Scarlet Witch in the process. Because up to this point, the main team was out there doing their jobs, so now it is time for them to do their job too. And as the newest Avengers team, they must avenge. So after Quicksilver agreed to help, Captain America went on to tell them that the vampires they have seen up to this point were terror troops. Which means they're not organized beyond causing chaos and fear to serve the aim of whoever started all of this. But there is also an organization or faction at work behind everything. Now again, the wild vampires are dangerous, but the organization is even more so. Now this organization has been rounding up people like cattle and herding them to an unspecified location. So with that said, that will be the basis of their current mission. For their main job is to find where the vampires are taking the humans and what objective was they trying to achieve outside of just drinking their blood. So as the team took off to track down the organization behind the vampire assault, Captain America was fully aware that the city is in chaos and people were dying, and the superhero part of him knew that he couldn't save everyone. So as a side effect, he has to approach this as a soldier, and the soldier in him has to see this as a mission. Which means there is no room for despair over the people he is unable to save. Because as a soldier, he is trying to save the most that he can. Now the soldier knows that he can't save them all, but the superhero within him weeps for their loss. So as they flew overhead, Kate was able to spot their targets with ease, especially because they were all wearing matching uniforms. So as the vampires poked and electrocuted their captives, Quicksilver arrived first to confront them. And he tells them that he wants to make this clear. he is not talking to them to offer them a chance to surrender, but instead, he is talking to them to allow them to experience fear before he eliminates them all. So as the rest of the Avengers show up, the battle kicks off. And like a well-oiled machine, the Avengers fought as a single unit and ripped through them. So as Kate provided aerial support, the battle continued on the ground below, and the Avengers were handling their business. So as the battle continued to grow more intense, we learned from Hercules that this is all the fault of Atlantis, because they had to transcribe the Dark Hold and create the first vampire. So with that cool little lore bomb dropped, we hear Captain America say, he's seen and fought beside good vampires who never asked to be cursed, but he never saw a good hate group before. So with that out there and the enemies defeated, Captain America attempted to calm the people, but as he was doing that, a bright light appeared overhead and started to suck the people into the sky. So as the vortex beam lifted them up into the helicarrier in the air, the citizens alongside the Avengers landed with a thud. So with that going down, Captain America told the rest of his team to form a perimeter around the civilians in order to keep them safe. So with their options low, Hazmat threatens to take down the helicarrier with an EMP, but lucky for them, Hercules was the voice of reason, because he reminds her that if she does that, then a lot of people will die, both on board and below the craft. So as the team stood ready to spring into action, a voice familiar to Captain America spoke up saying he should have expected Captain America to be here, because every time someone like him tried to deliver this particular idea into this world, Cap was always there to kill it in its crib. But this time, their ideas will be born into America, and it would be him who will welcome it into the world, for it is in his blood. So with that said, Baron Blood appeared on the next page as the newest vampire. So with that said, this issue comes to an end. Now with that out there, if you want to stay in the loop about any individual storyline, then how about you hop over to the playlist section down below or in the link cards above to get all caught up on the Bloodhunt event. So with that established, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to leave a like and a comment if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next review.